Hey, what's up guys? This is Jason with RC Off-Road Racing. Alright, we're doing some maintenance today. The race got canceled this weekend, so I figured I'd go ahead and, I went out and did some practicing today. I got a few things I want to tell you guys about. So yeah, I went out and did some practicing, and after 2 batteries, or maybe 3, I pulled my buggy off the track, from the battery it dumped. And I took the body off, and first thing I heard was like I heard the fan kind of cut off and then cut back on. I'm like, what's going on? And I looked and I seen a little bit of smoke coming from this area, like right here. This the servo's right here. Actually, I'm sorry, I had it facing this way, and I seen some smoke coming from right here. Of course, the battery's right here. So I quickly just pulled the battery out, and I was figuring it was like the battery or something, and then I started looking around, and I felt the drive shaft here was very hot, and the servo was extremely hot. Now I don't know exactly what happened that caused this anyway, but so after I put everything on the track, packed up, and went back to the house, and pulled the servo out, and the first thing I noticed. It's got a little bump there. Excuse me. So yeah, this is the servo I've been running. It's SV1273. It's super fast. It's probably got about 210 or 15, I think, ounce inches of torque, which is fine, and I love it. I tell you what, it's a lot better than this one that I had as a backup here, which is just a cheap JX servo, the DC 6015. But be real honest, I did go back and run one battery with this servo after I changed it, just to see if it was usable, and it's not that bad. The only issue I have is it doesn't, just like most cheap servos, they don't really want to center real well. I mean, don't get me wrong, it will center. I can center it, but going, like, if you're in a hard left and you let off and you just let it go to the center, it'll still kind of draw to the left until you kind of play with it and just tap it a little bit the other way. So anyway, but it turns as fast as I would want it to. The torque I don't think is there, but it seemed like it would do okay till I get this one replaced. So I've contacted Savox and the eBay seller. Hopefully I'll have better luck with this eBay seller. But Savox, I know they offer a 1-year warranty. I've only had this thing like 5 months, like 5 months, so 4 or 5 months, so shouldn't have no issues there. All right, so what I'm planning to do is clean this thing up a bit, which I've went ahead and I took off the battery tray, the servo tray, the receiver box here, and the battery tray, and I'm going to replace it. I got a new set of these, so I'm going to put those on as well. I'm going to clean these parts here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to install this, which is a ZTW 150 amp centered ESC, which looks to me looks just about like looks like it's a copy of the Hobby Wing XR8 Plus, perhaps. I'm not sure. But anyway, and I'm going to try out this 2150 ZTW motor. So, this is what I do to clean these things. I'll go ahead and take off everything that I can that's real easy, like your battery tray, your radio box and servo mount, and the center differential mount, and then I'll go ahead and spray it off real good with water. Power washer would probably be best. If you really want to, if you got some spots like, I could probably power wash this off, but I'll just pull that off. But if I would have power washed it, it would have, I could have gotten a lot of other things off. But next, I'm going to be taking off this front top plate, and I'm going to take the pillow balls apart and service them and get them cleaned up. So, all right. So it'd be nice to have a pit mat. I haven't purchased one yet. I don't have one. So usually I will use a some sort of towel or cloth of some sort to lay out flat and set all my small pieces down, all my screws and anything that you don't want to lose and you don't want rolling around, because on a flat tabletop surface they could potentially roll off onto the floor and you probably have a whole lot of trouble trying to find it. So all right, my battery charger just went off, and this is the Vamp battery that I've been talking so greatly about. So let's see what we got here. Whoa, it's charged at 5,739 milliamps this time. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's see. And we got 4199, 4204, 4204, and 4204. So that's that's about as good as can be expected. Pull the cord out there. Let's check the IR real quick. All right, we're going to check the internal resistance of the Awan 5000 milliamp hour battery, which just charged to 5760, I believe. So let's see. All right, we got 0, 2, 0, and 5. For some reason, it seems like the fourth cell is always the highest IR internal resistance. And I have a couple batteries. A lot of my batteries actually have the fourth. Let me re-say that. I'm sorry. I have 3 batteries that have this Vamp battery is at 34, and then each of these 2 here have one's at 20 and the other's at 24 on the fourth cell. So yeah, Awan lipos, can't beat them. 1-year warranty. $48 for or $48.99 free shipping from Amazon is what they were when I looked at it last. All right, so as I'm pulling off the carbon fiber top plate, when I see some of the screws can look similar, or they probably are exactly the same, but I try to put the same screw back in from where I took it out. So you see some of these are the flat, seat, the ones that seat down, and so I'll put those over to the side, being that they're not from the bottom. The bottom ones I interchange because they're going into plastic, and some of these are too, but I just want to just keep them separate, so I know these ones are for this section. All right, so the next thing I do is after I have the top plate removed, is I will remove, well, let me show you. For the carbon fiber top plate, you got to have these little spacer pieces. Okay, so I'll remove these, which these are not bearings. They don't have bearings in them. But I'll remove them to inspect the bearings. You have bearings on the top here, and then bearings underneath. Once you remove it, you'll see it. You want to inspect those, and if they need replacing, replace them. All right, guys. So, being that I've serviced the diffs just a few days ago, I'm going to keep the diff boxes closed. I may service these, but I serviced them not too long ago, so I may just leave them as they are for now. I can see everything moves smoothly. There's no binding, so everything should be okay. Alright guys, well, due to some time constraints I'm having tonight, I'm going to go ahead and cut some corners here. I'm not going to clean the pillow balls. Everything moves pretty, really freely. So, I've gone ahead and put the top plate here, the front top plate back on. For these screws, you're going to want to use blue Loctite for the front ones here, both of them, both sides, and these ones here that go into this little aluminum. I can't remember what it's called, but anyway, so yeah, you're going to want to use the Loctite. Alright guys, so now I'm going to start the rebuild process and install these new electronics here. I've also installed some new center drive axles. Let's see if you can see this. These ones have got some wear on the dog bone there. So they're still good and they still work just fine, you know. But I have new ones, so I'm gonna go ahead and just replace them. Alright guys, so I'm finally getting down to business. I've got motor mount installed. I got the the ESC double side taped to the battery tray. Got my wires coming through the bottom so I can run them down there. I've got the center differential installed now. Got my new center drive shafts. See if we can focus. Alright guys, we're getting close to done. You know, I've got the pinion gear. I put a 16-tooth pinion gear on the 2150 kV motor. Loctited this screw. I still gotta get this one in yet. The motor was already soldered up to the ESC. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and finish it up and then show you guys, you know, what it looks like when I'm done. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I have finished the installation of the 2150 ZTW and 150 amp 6S ESC. You know, I won't be running it on 6S, of course. I'll be running it on 4-cell, you know, because I race with it and it's what I run. But alright, so after I got it all installed, I just had to make sure, and any of you guys, you always want to make sure you do this anytime you put a new ESC in your car. You're going to want to calibrate the ESC to the remote. So for this one, it's pretty basic, just like you know, the Hobby Wing ones. You cut it on while holding the set button right there, and then as soon as the light flashing stops, or maybe it starts flashing, I can't remember what it was, but if something indicates, and then you light off the set button. And then you hold full throttle, and it will flash and then beep, indicating that you know, the forward has been calibrated. And then you will do the same for reverse, and then you will leave it there in the center for neutral. So, all right, guys. So you know, I've got this thing hooked up, got the sensor plug, everything hooked up. You know, this ESC has these posts coming out like that, so you know, hopefully the body will sit down okay. So I had to kind of, you know, I zip tied them down there. And also I had to, let me show you guys. If you're going to run this ESC in this buggy anyway, see how I had to take and hold the sensor wire pulled up because is real close right against the drive axle. And I also had to pull off the little plastic little plug part that comes out of right here. I'm sorry, hold on. Right here, and I taped it with electrical tape because you can kind of see the outline of where it was. But there's a plastic thing hanging there, and I didn't want it interfering with the axle, so I just pulled it off and put some tape on because it's also attached to the gasket that you know, kind of seals the ESC. Alright guys, so you know, everything's, you know, sounding good, looking good. With the exception of this video, it's really out of focus. Okay. Alright guys, so you know, the one thing about this is this ESC, I don't have a programming card for it. And so it will be running the servo at, you know, the standard voltage, which I believe is 6 volts, I believe. And you know, I have my other ESC is set to the 7.4 setting, so yeah, this servo is definitely not as quick as my other one, but it's not that bad really. It drove fine. The only thing I didn't like is when I hold it and let off, it doesn't want to recenter all the way. I mean, it's a very cheap servo, so I really have no complaints. It'll get me through till my Savox. Hopefully the new one comes in. So, alright guys, thanks for watching. If you have any questions about anything, any of these products I'm using, where I got them, you know, anything about them, just leave it in the comments. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And hopefully we get the race soon. Hopefully the rain will stop. So, I'll see you guys next time. Later.